Subscribe and hit that bell. D-Man here, and today I have been thinking about why did Arthur Morgan help John Marston? Why did Arthur Morgan help John Marston and his family get out of the gang, get the money, and so on and so forth? Why did Arthur Morgan help John and his family? So, for these past few days, I've been thinking that, or for the last, 2 days, I guess, today and yesterday. And, I've been thinking that maybe I'll make a little bit of a game theory on it. And now I can use it in the thumbnail. But anyways, I was thinking I can make a little bit of a theory on it, why he helped them, and, what was the cause for it. At first, I thought, probably most of you did, that Arthur Morgan, at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2, spoiler alert, by the way, he dies. Arthur Morgan, at the end, he helps John and his family, along with, Abigail and Jack, obviously. And I was thinking, is it really because he wants to have this, redemption arc? Because at the end, I felt like Arthur Morgan was trying to have a redemption arc on Chapter 6. He was trying to, help people and save people and do better stuff to become a better man. So, at the end of this, he tries to help Jack and, he tries to help John's family, Jack and Abigail. He tries to help them, and he dies for it. So why does he help their family? Now, there is a couple reasons why. First off, he thinks of Jack as a brother, or, yeah, probably as a brother. And he thinks as, obviously, John as a brother, not Jack. He thinks of Jack as, a nephew, and he thinks of Abigail as, a sister or a sister-in-law, depending on what you want to say, obviously. So that's one of the reasons why he might have helped them. But then again, I thought maybe Jack is actually Arthur's son. I was thinking that in the game, John runs away eventually. And he runs away, not eventually. He runs away a long time ago, for a whole year straight. He said that Jack wasn't his son, so he ran away for a whole year straight, and then he came back, and he obviously started to take responsibility for Jack and Abigail. And I was thinking that Jack might be Arthur Morgan's son, or Arthur Morgan in that 1 year where John was away might have fell in love with Abigail, so wanted to protect her, to save her, and then wanted to protect John because she loved John, so he kind of just lived with that. And my reasons why thinking that Jack might be his son is because they kind of look similar. I was comparing them to, and they kind of look similar to a certain extent. Their cheeks look a little bit similar. Their chin, their noses, It's kind of there. You can kind of see their noses. They look very similar. And this is Jack in his older form, obviously. So they look similar to an extent. And then I thought to myself, what if Arthur Morgan was not the father? Because we all know that Dutch in the original game said that she was passed around from everybody in the whole camp. So everybody in the whole camp, until John finally said that he loves her and they become husband and wife, which happened eventually in the camp somewhere where he didn't become legitimately husband and wife, but they became husband and wife. So until then, they said that they had everybody in the camp had her pretty much, and that means that Jack might not be John's son. So I was thinking maybe Jack is someone else's son, and I compared Jack and Abigail here to see what kind of features we could say that he has from her. He has her chin, she has a bump on her chin. She has a little pronounced chin there. And he has a very, pronounced chin like she does. He's obviously her son, her son. and his nose looks very similar to hers as well. So I was thinking, what if it's not John's and it's not Arthur's? It is. Oh wait, we're not getting into that part yet. I also compared him to John Marston, obviously, and as you can see, they don't have much in common. John has like a little butt chin. Jack, he has a little goatee in this picture, so we can't really tell if he has a butt chin or not. Their cheeks may be similar. Their nose, like at the top of it, pretty similar. But for a comparison, they're not the similest people to each other. As you can see here, they're not the similarest. I don't know, man. It just doesn't look like they're similar. It looks like they could be related, but they might not be. So then I was thinking, what if he's related to, Bill? Sorry, I almost forgot his name. What if he's related to Bill, and Bill had his way with, obviously the girl. God damn it, I forget names on a regular basis. Abigail. So we do know that all the people in camp had Abigail, and we know that Bill had a fixation for her until John won her heart, I guess, in the end. But they do kind of look similar if you look at it. Like the nose, Bill has a more flatter nose and a more wide nose, but Jack has a very wide nose, but not a very flat nose. But you could say that came from his mother's side. Their cheeks actually look very similar because they're both a little bit caved in. And their nose ridge looks very similar as well, like the nose and the eyebrows. When they squint, they look like they have like this little crease in the middle. It looks just very similar to each other. And their beards, they kind of look similar too. Their beards kind of look similar too. Except he doesn't obviously have a full beard. And then I did this to compare all three of them. As you can see, Abigail has a more pronounced nose, but smaller. And Jack has a more pronounced nose, but wider. So I was thinking, like, they could definitely have this child. If those two were together, they could definitely have this child. Because he does look very similar to Bill, and also Abigail, obviously, because that's his mom. So it could definitely be Bill, Bill's child. Abigail's and Bill's child. It could definitely be Abigail's and Bill's child. And I'm just thinking, man. If she had, it's like everybody had their way with him, as Dutch said, it could be, it could be. It could definitely be Bill's child, and it looks kind of like that. Or it could be John's child, I guess, from the original. We'll never know because Rockstar will probably never say it, and they probably never really thought about it that much. They made jokes about it, they probably never really thought about it, though. I'm just saying, they look very similar. Like, Bill and him look very similar, and if you look at all three of them together, it looks like they could definitely have a child like that. But maybe it's John's child. Maybe it's Arthur Morgan's child even. I kind of doubt it at this point, but it could be. Or maybe it's Bill Williamson's child. Because they do look similar, and if you compare all three of them together, they do look like they are kind of related. But who knows which one is the child's father. Because Dutch did say that all the camp had her, so that means Arthur Morgan had her once at least, right? Or maybe he didn't, I don't know. But off what Dutch said, they all had her. So it could be one of their one of the other children. It's very interesting to think about, and I do think it might be Bill Williamson's child. So, in this game, at the end, why did Arthur Morgan help them? Was it because he felt an obligation to help his fellow camp members? Or was it because something else, like perhaps John was his kid? I kind of don't think it was because John was his kid, and I think it was because he wanted to have a redemption of himself, hence the name Red Dead Redemption. Or hence the name Red Dead Redemption 2, I guess. Because the first time you meet him, he's not a good person, but by the end, he starts turning into a good person. So I think by the end, he just wanted to redeem himself in his own eyes, I guess. In no one else's eyes but his eyes, and maybe Jack's and Abigail's as well. So I don't think that he is the father of her child, and that's why he helped her. I think that he helped her because he wanted to redeem himself. And I also don't think he helped her because he loved her secretly or something like that. Because when Jack left, they had an affair or something like that. Because it wouldn't really be an affair, I guess, because Jack did leave. I mean, no, John. Sorry, I mean John, not Jack. But it wouldn't really be an affair because John left because he did leave technically. So it wouldn't really be an affair, but it'd be screwed up kind of. I don't know. But it could definitely be a possibility that it's Bill Williamson's child because they look so similar. And I'll show you again, like just the way they look all together. They look very much like they could have that child. I'm just saying, they look very much like they could have that child. But I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I don't know who the father is. It could be any one of these three. Hell, it could even be Dutch himself. But I'm kind of leaning towards Bill because they look very similar. I don't know, man. Maybe it's John's. I hope it's John's. At least we know he had one kid with her that wasn't in the game for some reason. Anyways, I think Arthur Morgan just did that to get his redemption. And I think he accomplished that to a certain extent. So kudos to you, Arthur. And Abigail, are you sure that's Jack's kid? Are you sure it's John's kid? I keep on mixing up their names, man. But anyways, I hope you liked this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, obviously. Hit that bell notification button because you love my content. And as always, my friends, that's just a theory. A game theory. Stay sane. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just saying, hope you liked this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all that nonsense. But anyways, I hope you have a good day, because, you know, the video's over. And I hope you watch more videos. Go ahead and click these videos, or click subscribe, you know. See ya.